All right. Let's get back into the spirit of things. Good golly gee willikers, am I out of season apparently. Is it allowed for what I want it to be at? I swear to God, it gets louder every time, but I'm not editing the music statistics. So I have no idea. Yeah, it's like on the lowest possible volume, but that's still... it's not quiet enough. Ah, well. Guess that's what we gotta work with. Let's go ahead and put up the prediction. As long as there's not an active one going on right now. Let's see. Time-wise, let's set up for 15 minutes. That should be a nice gander. And here we have everything. So, how are you all doing? We will here. Welcome, Sickfra. I hope you all are enjoying your Thursday. We've got 2 streams planned for you today. OFCRA match PvP commentary today. That's going to be lasting for about 2 hours between now and I want to say 5:30, possibly 6 o'clock. And then we have Pog doing a Warhammer 40k op. It's the start of their Cadian campaign. We did a Kriegsman op last week. They seem to really like it. So we've moved on to a full-on campaign. I've got pictures of that posted on Twitter. It should be a nice op. I've converted the entire top left quadrant of the map, literally a fourth of the map, into 40k stuff. So we should be a-okay on that. If I bet against my own faction, are you a traitor? Lolo, you bet where the money is, buddy. Just bet where the money is. Now, quick note on bets, by the way. Last time, 2 weeks ago, when we streamed one of these missions, Op4 got demolished. They got freaking unapologetically demolished. So if you want to keep your money till we look at their specific assets, feel free. But Blue 4 had an attack helicopter, a Huey with rocket pods that it only used once to kill a BTR. And no audio. Refresher page. Here. Because as far as I'm concerned, OBS is picking everything up. So, I mean, you all can hear me, right? Just say the word yes. But regardless, Op4 had a platoon of BTRs, a platoon of tanks. Blue 4 only had a single tank and a single attack helicopter. And they did have a spooky gunship, but it wasn't really that affected. And Op4 even had a freaking ZPU. No, ZPU isn't the right term. They had a ZSU. And, yeah, they still got absolutely, positively demolished. So, I don't know where the assets are going to be in this operation, but let's see how things go now. That is the sound of... Let me actually confirm real quick. T-FAR is going to be lagging for a second as it moves everyone over.
Send in GOAT Team 6.
Oh my god. All right, updating the title real quick. We are at 150 players. Technically 149, but, you know, I got to inflate those numbers slightly. So, let's have a look at what Blue 4 and Op 4 are doing, and then I'll... Well, not that what they're doing, what they have, and then we'll go through what they are doing specifically. But, Monkey, thanks for the 61-month resub, my man. Wear that. I don't even know. I think that's the Emerald badge. I made those a long time ago. That's a 5-year badge, man. Wear it with pride. I hope you keep enjoying the operations. Hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. But let's go ahead and look at... Oh, I forgot to mention NASA about that Lone Wolf script that kept coming up on the bottom left. My bad. All right, so Blue 4, they got dragons. They've got a mix of Netherlands, West Germany, U.S., and Canadian forces. Op 4 has Soviets, East Germany, and Polish forces. Interesting. So we've got a dragon in play. We have an M2 Mutt Jeep. We got an M2 transport. 3 M2 transports, they're bringing back the freaking... I forget the designation of this tank, but this thing was kicking ass last time we watched a NATO versus Warsaw back operation. And I'm going to be honest, its damage model is pretty tanky. I'm not sure if they've done any editing to it. I did witness it take a few rounds, but also Blue 4 was playing much more efficiently with this tank. And that command turret's also pretty nasty, but... I mean, they were just outright flanking any T-72s that they were running into. Looking at the rest of Blue Force forces down here, we have a cargo transport. Ah, so they're going to be airborne today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, it's Canadian airborne. Sorry, I saw U.S. Air Force, but that was, I guess it's a U.S. plane, but it's Canadians with their designations of Sterling's 249s, which that might be a mini-me instead. They have their own version of the M4, which I believe is that designation of gun, and then we also saw some L1A1s, at least their designation of the self-reloading rifle. So, not bad there. Also, did I see any AT? Okay, and they have Carl Gustavs, which, in my opinion, is probably one of the best weapon platforms. We have a second Blue 4 tank on the U.S. side. 3 M113s with M2 mounts. A tow Jeep, a 50 cal Jeep. That tow Jeep also has the M60 on the front mount. And then we have another M2 transport truck. Looking at their roster here, I think we're also going to see Carl Gustavs in play. Mark 14 snipers, all right, M60s, crewmans with only handguns, and then we just have the M16A2. I think that's the A2 model. But all right, not bad for the gear exchange there. Let's go ahead and look at OPFOR. Their main force of Soviets are going to have... two rocket pods and 2 UPK 23mm gun batteries. And it's a gunboat, which means it's got 3 PKT mounts around it. Oh, mwah. Mwah. I'm going to quickly look back at Blue 4. I don't see any dedicated anti-air or helicopter asses, but at the same time, a 50 cal could easily disable that thing. But if it's used properly at range, that thing should be able to shred practically anything. But I'm not seeing any AA capability. Oh my god. That is brilliant. Oh. It's ape. I know it's armor piercing, but that thing is still going to be messy. Plus, it's got rockets, Ilvanek. I know, it's the M16, not M4. You're right. M4 was more advanced. But anyway, looking more at OPFOR here. We've got some weapon bags, so they might be able to set up Dishka statics or even SPG-9 statics or even Metis. We're not going to know until they're fully deployed. We got some, what are those, RPKs in play, AK-74s. Here's their command, RPGs in play. We got some single-shot disposable RPG 26s, if I recall correctly. Squad leaders seem to have a blue beret on. Ooh. And then we've got an SPG-9 car back here and a 50 cal Dishka, or technically 12.7, but I mean, they're both the same caliber, just one round is slightly taller than the other. All right, now looking at the Polish and East German forces over yonder, we've got some RSGH tubes. These are single-shot thermal barrack launchers, basically meant for anti-infantry and anti-buildings. We've got some gun bags as well. I can't identify what they are until they're actually deployed, but we have BTR-40s. These are the Polish forces. So we also have a BTR-40 Dishka. We got a command car back there, UAZ. We have a T-72 in play. Actually, I don't know if that's a 72 or an 80, but it's basically an early model of tank where there's no ERA plates and whatnot. Got some Dragunovs in play, some RPG-26s from the German side. More RPGs in play, and we got those 3 BTRs in play as well. So basically, in adjusting things, they've given the air support over to OPFOR this time around, but we'll just have to see how everything goes. But anyway, I'm going to quickly tab out. What side is Lolo on? You know, that's a great question. I can't find him. We got Ivno on Blue 4, NASA on Blue 4, Twig on OPFOR. Lolo is on OPFOR. He's part of the East German side. But anyway, let me do a quick point breakdown for all of you. Let me go ahead and turn off Discord there. We don't need to stream all of that Nekopara stuff. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about our objectives here. So there is a military base, which I actually don't see where it's specifically marked. I would assume it's this bio plant, because I don't see anything else about the bioplant here, so I'm assuming that's what the translation is. So whoever has control of this bioplant by the end of the mission is going to gain 4 points. There are also 3 additional objectives per side. First off, with Blue 4, they have to destroy this warehouse here within the 60-minute mark. We have a little bit of a fortification around. Looks like it is an artillery repair area here that they're trying to destroy. I do like the entrenchments that they've made with the dirt buildup from Cup on the sides. I actually really like that. I'm going to probably steal that idea for later. That's something I never considered. We also have a bunker out here, which is very nice. But otherwise, if the Op4, aka the Warsaw Pack, is able to make sure that bunker is not destroyed within the 60-minute mark, they will gain 2 points. If Blue 4 destroys it, it's 2 points. There's an artillery position up here. If Blue 4 destroy these artillery pieces within 60 minutes, they gain 2 points. If Op4 keeps them from being destroyed, they gain 2 minutes. There is also an artillery commander, quote-unquote, somewhere around here. If Op4... actually, Op4 gains nothing by keeping him alive. If Blue 4 kills him, they gain 2 points. But if Op4 kills the Blue 4 side commander, which I'm trying to figure out who that is, I think it's Bluck, based off the fact he's the officer and it's the 3rd Infantry Division HQ. So I think he is in charge of that, this entire force here. So if he dies, then Op4 gains 2 points, but if that guy dies that we just saw, then Blue 4 gains 2 points. So overall, grand total of each side gaining in terms of points, I believe is 10, 4 for the military base, 6 between 3 groups of 2 points on those objectives. Main fighting is going to focus on the warehouse and the artillery pieces first. Op4 playing defense, so they spawn closer and are going to get to those positions, and then the bioplant is the final position worth 4 points. So Blue 4 is going to really have no choice but to attack both of these positions to try to find a way to gain points. Yes, they gain more points by hitting the artillery area. Mission just started, by the way, so we'll start seeing forces deploy here. But I think Op4 could get away with holding the artillery position and the bioplant by the end of the mission for 8 points total, but the warehouse is kind of in the middle, so anything, if Blue 4 then takes the warehouse instead of blocking positions, they could catch half of Op4 out of position here. So Op4, I think, is going to have no choice but to hold both positions, possibly having stronger forces at the artillery position compared to the warehouse because of the point values, but keeping in mind that they'll have to then go to the bioplant because that's going to be what kind of wins it for everyone. They might put a skeletal force down at the bioplant as well, but it's that is a tough call based off the objectives. I actually commend the mission maker for this one, because this one I would say is really well balanced on where the point values are specifically, and also the fact that Op4 gains nothing by keeping the artillery commander alive other than denying the opponent those points. So if Blue 4 takes Artie, they're very likely to get it in the bag there because they'll also get the commander and gain 4 out of the possible 10 points to win. The bioplant is the quote-unquote military base because I don't see a military base marking, so I would assume that that is the point of that area. But otherwise, we've got forces deploying here, plane taking off, and there is still time to bet. So there are 20 people in that plane, and there's 2 people back here that didn't get on it. I could have sworn they could fit more people. All right, you wanna consider pulling up now, guys. They're trying. Their flaps aren't down. All right, there we go. I was about to say, I really hope we don't see 20 people immediately die. That would be pretty funny. Now, if they're doing an air assault would be if they land in helicopters. Airborne is when they jump out of planes. So if they're doing an airborne maneuver here, I hope they've learned their lesson in that they need to maintain the plane above 100 meters so people can go into the parachute animation. If they didn't, I hope the mission maker knows that there is a way you can change that with one of the latest changes in Arma 3 that has been recently made available, where you can actually change that number in meters to determine when you go into that parachute animation. So if you want to do lay lows, like really, really low lay lows, which means low altitude, low opening in terms of when you jump out of your plane and when you open your parachute, I hope they've adjusted that number. Otherwise, we're going to see a bunch of people pancake again, which admittedly was pretty damn funny. Otherwise, we've got the plane circling around. I'm going to be honest, I think if the Mi-8 gets into a proper position, I think it could actually engage the plane. We got 3 people loaded in that Mi-8. I would also not be surprised if we see it monitoring around for CAS. I'm going to be honest, though. With the ordnance of that helicopter, it is a major... you would think it's a great idea to send it on reconnaissance routes, which I think it's doing right now, trying to go out in the AO to figure out where Blue 4 is coming in to potentially do some early rocket strikes on. That is a very, very, very big risk, though, because a single 50 cal round can shut down the engine of that Mi-8. And you'd say, to counter, well, Liru, any single 50 caliber round well-placed is going to shut down a helicopter, which you'd be right, but the hitbox of the Mi-8 is so freaking huge that just a few rounds is going to knock that bitch out of the sky, all right? It is a whale. Compare that to a Little Bird or even a freaking Huey. But then again, the Huey's damage model is very, very forgiving compared to the MI8, which, you know, 1 round, even from 7.62, if it hits in the right spot, you're screwed. So I would honestly say, while it is nice to potentially send that out to Recon, they do have an SPG-9 car, and they do have a Dishka car. I would recommend sending those out instead. Wow, this is a massive map, so you're unlikely to really run into anything. But you're at least locking down some routes, so you have an idea of where Op 4 is going to come in. The MI8, I feel like, would be much better if they kept that on reserve and just used it for pure cast runs. That way they know where Blue 4 is, and then they can engage it. They can engage Blue 4 in bulk when they're trying to advance, utilizing those rockets more effectively, because those rocket pods are heavily inaccurate. What? Did you see that? I swear to God, I just saw a vehicle fly off into the cosmos. Like, bottom left, super far. That might have just been a temporary visual glitch, but I swear to God I saw that. Betting window's about to close. We're at 15.1k to Blue 4, 21.5k to Op 4. All right. I'm going to be honest, I would give Op 4 the advantage for the MI8. Looks like they're using it just to loiter back here. And they're keeping it just above the tree line. Because again, when you're using a helicopter to scout, people are going to hear that helicopter coming. Granted, they're in vehicles, so it's unlikely that, you know, the audio cue will really work for them, but a trained ear will be able to hear it call it up. It only takes one person to have that trained ear in a transport truck to realize, hey, there's a vehicle coming, in which case it can stop, get the 50 cal mount on it to look up, and again, few shots, well placed, especially if that chopper's flying low, and you're screwed. You have a night mission today, you want to watch all this? Dang. Well, Platts is going to be going on for a few hours, so there's always the VOD too. But look at this. Op 4 has struck money in their prediction here. We've got a Blue 4 convoy of a Command Vic. That is the Tow Vic too. That is a priority target for Op 4 to take out, and they have a perfect ambush setup. I can't believe it. But they have the SPG not. No! No! Put that on the MSR! What are you doing? Someone go get. I think someone just shouted. Yeah, they see it coming. Why isn't that SPG-9 car in an ambush position? What are you doing? Why is the Dishka in the... My God. Hey, Don, if you're here, do you see that? The fucking... Oh my God, Twitch actually caught something. For once, that's amazing. Someone, random account came in with a frickin', you know, one of those spam messages, and it actually got caught. That's great. All right, come on, kill them. Where is the SPG-9? What are you? Yes, okay. Okay, I stand corrected. They disabled it. And now you got this vehicle coming up. Oh, here we go. Again, there should have been the SPG-9 car out, but... Oh! Driver's down. 50 cal's now turned around. Again, I don't... So David's calling up they've been ambushed, but yeah, okay. Not the cleanest ambush Op 4 could have done, but at least they're able to now capture this stuff. They can take the wheels off of that and repair it. David, though, if he finds it, could steal the SPG-9 car, which is slightly concerning. It's over here, though. Oh my God, David. I mean, granted, we just had an entire group get wasted here. Oh, no. Hold on. Okay, we had a pancake.
Big crossroad.
The rest of the force is landing over here, but I can confirm we did have a pancake tonight. Oh, my God. But most of this group, that is the entire 3rd Infantry Division, has been taken out in an Op 4 ambush. Was really worried Op 4 wasn't going to be able to have that set up properly, but they wanted to play it really close with that Dishka car, and it paid out for them because they were able to knock out the drivers of the vehicles first. Puny played dead and managed to kill a guy. Oh my God. That's amazing. And then a grenade got him! And then a grenade got him! Oh, these chuckleheads. Of course. Of freaking course. Now, can David one-man army these remaining 3 dudes? I actually think there's a chance here. Oh. Let's go. That was Funy's grenade too, so we got a double kill with it. That's brilliant. The rest of the group here is staying back here because the forward group reported they got ambushed. Blue 4, meanwhile, massive deployment to the north. We have a second person unconscious over here too that might have pancaked or hit a tree. That's why you don't want to drop into trees because they, you know, will stop you on your parachute animation, then you still fall 10 feet and probably kill yourself. MI8 still waiting to the south. Blue 4 command staying on reserve, but Blue 4's main force are setting up to the artillery position first. They're just going to do a sweep south to, north to south, and that's probably the smartest thing they can do. Granted, they were probably going to have flanking forces coming from the left. Grenade thrown in. It's a smoke. Marty immediately reports that up. I think David should have hit that. Oh, he's going to AT shit. I mean, if he can scuttle that Vic so it's not stolen and used against his force, that would be a really smart idea. I think he was trying to hit it, but he missed. And there goes David. Well, he tried. All right, Op 4 maintaining control. The vehicle is going to be able to be stolen and towed. And, I mean, Op 4 controlling the tow Vic is... I mean, if they get it repaired and they're allowed to take it, because sometimes there's special rules that they can't. But in the last one, I think anyone was allowed to take anything as long as it wasn't the tanks. But that should be fair game. It's a car, you know? Hey, Army, how you doing? It was a good try. I understand why he threw the smoke so he could conceal himself to launch that rocket, but the rocket went far, so it wasn't able to hit the Vic. Because when wheels are shot out on a vehicle, it actually lowers... how would I put it? So the wheels, they're a texture, but if you shoot the wheels, it deflates them, shrinking them, and then the car gets lowered to the ground, and thus you might have to adjust your aim, which, you know, you already have a small frame because of this thing. Oh, so they only have one destroyed wheel. They could actually get that repaired really easily. They're going to demo it instead. All right. That's fair. Yeah, because they only have 3 dudes, and they already have 2 cars here, so they don't really have the capacity to do that. They're going to probably get the driver out. They're planting another charge right there as well. But yeah, demo it so Blue 4 can't come in and recapture it. That's also a solid strategy. I'm doing all right. All right, so we got the air assault forces over here. That entire third group is dead. Gazag, I don't see him here for the airborne groups anymore, so I think he left the server because he didn't pull the shoot right. But Barros here is still unconscious. So Blue 4, right off the bat, they're taking some pretty nasty early casualties. Ooh, we got a mounted dragon. Pulling security to the south. It scared me for a second because that's the Titan launcher symbol, and I'm like, this is Cold War. That's a 2035 advanced javelin, sir. So, oh yeah, someone asked earlier. So OFCRA is a multi-cultural community. So we have English, we have French, we have Spanish, we have... Actually, I don't know if there's any German, but I know we have Czech and Polish as well. And then we also, believe it or not, have British. There's a difference between them and those English yonders. But anyway. There is German? All right, so again, there's a lot. So you'll hear quite a few different languages here, so... You got cussed out by a German? Nice. So the remaining group decided to mount up in the SPG-9, because I'd assume the Dishka car was also shot up, but there's the smoking 2 vehicles deaded right here, and they left their Dishka car right there. 3 of the wheels taken out. There's only 1 spare wheel inside, so they wouldn't be able to get it repaired and used against them. Plus, Dishka car isn't really that good anyway, except when you have it in those niche ambushes, which... they did quite well. Do I think they could have set up a better ambush by setting up their SPG-9 to take out that transport and kill everyone inside? And then the Dishka can shoot out that vehicle and they could have potentially stolen it with lesser casualties? Yes. Did they still achieve the same result and
you know, wipe an entire group and, you know, keep the SPG-9 car but take the tow vehicle out of the game? Yes. Do I still think they did a good job with that in mind? Yes. Could it have been better? Absolutely. But this is Arma. Nothing can ever be perfect, especially in a PvP scenario. Sent from Spain? Yeah, we do have Spanish players on as well. I just don't know which community is what, admittedly. All right, so we got a BTR doing patrols out here. Smart for OpFor to be doing that, though that is kind of a token unit to be doing it, because if Blue 4 really wanted to, they could just AT it, or they could bypass. But now Blue 4, we've got 2 pincers here coming onto the artillery position. Probably going to take them another 15-20 minutes to get in. OpFor is probably going to detect this force unless they push a little more to the west and come around. But leaving these forces out here means if Blue 4 bypasses, OpFor could then envelop and rear attack. And I don't think they'll wipe the Blue 4 elements outright because of the sheer amount compared to, you know, of OpFor's small groups compared to Blue 4's large groups. But they could definitely do a good amount of damage. And then you have all of these OpFor forces remaining right here. And Blue 4, I mean, beyond those forces, just has an additional small force over here with their tanks. And that's it. You got a second tank coming up, but it looks like they're now flanking around because they don't want to take any risks right here because they had one group ready to go in and get absolutely wiped. So Blue 4, a bit of a shift in strategy. We're still on early game. I think that's one of the earliest early game engagements, though, I've ever seen. But OFCRA, I like to divide into 3 groups because it is a full 90-minute round. You have your first 30 minutes, which is early game. Your next 30 minutes, which is mid-game. By then, an hour has passed. Sometimes there are objectives, especially in this round, for example, that after the end of mid-game, some objectives are cashed in. And then you have late game, which is your, you know, your cleanup at that point. Most missions are usually taken care of by mid-game. Some go all the way to long game, and very few are settled in early game. Granted, you do sometimes see entire groups getting wiped in early game, but statistically, that doesn't determine who wins the match. I've still seen people bounce back, and I think Blue 4's secret weapon is going to be those 2 M60A3 tanks. I just remember the designation. One is there and one is there, so we'll have to see. Have fun, Platts. As soon as I saw the town, I said, I bet you they're already waiting for us. Ah, you were part of the group that got ambushed, buddy? Yeah. Granted, they just got there and started doing reconnaissance, but yeah, the MSR, out of all the MSR choices, I guess that was the most direct one, you know, center to center, so they would set something up to defend it, but yeah. I'm going to be honest, this is one of those matches where normally I sometimes would say, you know, going down the obvious route is a good choice, but OFCRA, especially the fact that they're getting their numbers so big these days, we're at 150 players at the start. I don't know how many are still alive and on right now. We've lost at least a good 10 to 15, but due to casualties. But, you know, with literally having 2 platoons worth of infantry, you can cover a lot on a 20 by 20 or 15 by 15 grid with 2 platoons of infantry. Add the fact you've got, you know, air assets that can monitor entire areas by themselves, vehicle assets that can lock down entire areas, and yeah. And even if you don't see anything on that route, then you know that the enemy's taken other routes, in which case you'll have a good idea of where they're attacking. I freaking... How did you manage that? We just saw you on the road. How did you... How did you get... What? How did you get it between the 2 trees? I have so many questions. What did you do? What? Now they're going to try arming it, but it's not going to flip because it's between 2 trees. How did you get it between 2 trees like that? I take my eyes off of you for 5 minutes. But how did you manage that? That's impressive. So, okay. They just wounded themselves. They somehow managed to take out all the trees. Well, thank God Arma's so forgiving with how easy it is to knock trees over, but it's like, what are you doing? Thankfully, they only need a handful of dudes to flip this, but... Wait, is it gonna flip on... like a beetle on its back. All while Blue 4's moving around. Oh. It wants a belly rub. I'm waiting for it to kill someone. You should not be on the sides. You should be on its front because it could then roll on you. Wait. Wait. There we go. Oh, my God. Players are so adorable in this game.
Down the road to the right is clear.
Blue 4 is reporting their right side's clear there. Interesting, we have a BTR 40 on the rear line. I think it's doing reconnaissance, but it's going to end up behind Blue 4. However, Blue 4 might be pulling rear security with an M60. With a tank! And that thing's going to one-tap that poor BTR 40. And then these guys are not in range to hear that BTR 60 driving out. Actually, is that a 60 or a 70? I forget the visual differences between the 60, 70, and 80 model, but it's either a 60 or a 70. Oh, I'm gonna laugh my ass off that BTR 40 drives into that tank. That's a 70? Thank you. Still that helicopter loitering to the south. I think by how this AO is playing out, Op4 is gonna be able to call in Cass. And then we have a nice Op4 defensive line right here. 60s are more compact, exactly. Well, no, the 80 doesn't have the big auto cannon. The 80 Alpha has the auto cannon. There is an 80 that has just a gun, and they might have spotted Baku's gun. If not, they're just checking the tree lines, but they will eventually run into Blue 4 moving down here. So this will be a point of engagement. Blue 4 going to be able to get their airborne squad. I keep getting those
Command,
mixed up.
I do not see that enemy from my position. Do you want us to move further to engage it? Or?
Oh, yes! The tank spawned in the 40. There it is! I told you! I told you! Now that coax is going to slaughter him! Oh! I told you they're gonna run into each other, and that M60 was just gonna bitch slap it. They saw Kanka. Poor Kanfa here. He's shutting the door. Yeah, because the door's gonna stop it. All right, so Blue 4 wiping a group on their own as well. I was telling you, man. It's gonna happen. Callie on 3 kills and a vehicle kill. Oh. His 4th is bleeding out and his 5th survived. Poor Lolo. Who's the guy that asked what side Lolo was on? Was that on purpose? Yeah, okay, so we have had BMPs on OFCRA in the past. There's just none in this mission. Vehicles that we're seeing today are T-72s, or was it T-80? I forget, guys. BTR 70s, M60 A3s, or is it? It's either an A3 or an A1 model. I forget which. We do have an MI8 with, it's an SH3 model, which means it's got the gun mounts on the side. Oh, excuse me, the pod mounts on the sides. It was a 72. All right. And we do have M113s and a transport cargo C-130, but last time we saw this 2 weeks ago, we had a Shilka also in play, but I think its weaponry was modified. T-72A to be specific, exactly. So Lolo woke up, survived, got out. He's going to have to do medical. Based on the helmets, I think these are the German... No, those are the Polish forces. Duh, because they have the Polish flag on it. So that M60 pulled back. It's now going back to friendly forces. But this should be a good indicator. If they find a tank here, that should be a good indicator that there's enemies assaulting from there, because no one in their right mind would push a tank unsupported into enemy Okay, excluding Russians, no one in their right mind. Oh, my God. Ooh, we got a convoy coming in. Op4 might be able to set up another ambush, but they're...
Ready. Get up here and be ready, please. AT, I need you ready up here now. Come on, guys, let's go. Please stop fucking playing Foursquare. I fucking swear.
Op4's playing Foursquare and getting off the position, and Blue 4 might be able to get by this ambush area.
Don't shoot.
They're calling it in.
Enemies pushing right past P-Lex Mark, full fucking all of them.
AT hits the truck, causes an immediate dismount.
Descendez, 14, descendez, arrêtez. En plus,
They've got an AA gunner right here. These guys dismounting in the open. They're fighting units with cover. We have another transport truck that's now assisting. Truck destroyed. Extra infantry now dismounted on the rear. BTR can push out, but we probably have Blue 4 AT. Yep. M72 Law is going to line up a shot, take out this BTR. It misses! Oh, you had all the time in the world. A second one misses! Oh, shit! Get that 50 cal car up then. You can still take it out with the 50. Blue 4 fumbling. Op4 pulling back, realized they just bit off way more they could chew. And this BTR is struggling to pull out of this area. Pro Hunter running south. He's going to run right into that Blue 4 group. He's lost. He's asking where they are. He's going to run right into that Blue 4 squad. We'll see if he's able to take anyone out in the meantime. He spots Sky. Starts engaging. Really dumb idea. Should have held and started grenading. Knocks out Sky. Got some flanking fire over here. This is Solomon trying to get some shots. He does have a Dragunov with the scope, though. He could do some additional damage. He did kill the 50 cal gunner, though. These guys trying to advance here. That Dragunov's going to be able to keep him pinned down. Some return fire. Grenade, or was that a marksman shot? It is hard to tell. Solomon, I think, just got the second kill, though. Pro Hunter double taps whoever the hell was in there, and that front group has been mostly wiped. Oliver pushing up ahead of everyone. He's got a freaking MG. I think that's an MG3 because by now the 42s should have been rechambered into 7.62 by 51 instead of 7.92. So it should be an MG3 and not a 42, but literally the difference between an MG42 and an MG3 is just, you know, World War II era 7.92 versus, you know, current day NATO ammo. Oh, man. So both sides have been doing some pretty nasty ambushes on each other. You still got two Op4 elements right here. They're going to be starting to pull back. I'm a little concerned about this airborne group. I always think to say airborne, but I say assault like an idiot. That might be able to get in the rear and do a lot of damage and still gain points. We just heard AT. I think that was a rifle group. No. That's a hand flare. Is that actually AT? The dude has a freaking pocket mortar. They're trying to launch our... I've never seen that before.
It's been a while since I've been able to watch a live stream.
They have a freaking hand mortar. That is dope as hell. It's completely off to my marker, but that's awesome. Michelangelo, thanks for the 11-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying the operations, and I hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. I'm worried that they're firing on Oliver's position, but let's look at the casualty counters here. We got Mitsu dead, and I think the other people have left the server by now, but David's dead, and Funi's dead. Oh, these guys are back to where the first ambush was. So they're staying to spectate. But, I mean, let's look at Blue 4's total numbers right here. How I like to do this is I go to the last person, I scroll down. So we got a page and a half of Blue 4. Op 4, meanwhile, we have roughly 2 pages. You got to also understand Blue 4 have more skulls on than Op 4 right now. So Op 4 have a pretty significant numbers advantage right now because of those 2 initial ambushes. One being a total wipe, another killing a few guys. I think only Bay Potato was taken out here because he's the only one that we see. We still see that hand mortar firing. That is awesome, man. Bay somehow wakes up. Now the question is, with his SKS, is he going to be able to get any kills here? Does have the bayonet on. I think that's purely for aesthetic. You can't stab people with it. Wouldn't that be nice, though? But looking at what remains on Op 4, I love how Op4 almost fumbled this because they were playing Foursquare. God, that's a game I have not heard of since freaking elementary school days. I'm gonna laugh my ass off if he actually kills Oliver. He's gonna be doing medical right now. That is the sound of him injecting himself with something. He's hot micing though. Will Oliver hear the hot mic?
On est trois. N'oubliez pas.
You know, I know you're friendly to the elements up here, but it's never a good idea to walk up and go guns up on your friendly's positions. I get you're sweeping, but, you know, some jackass is going to probably shoot you. You know, Bay Potato plays it smart. He's playing dead right now with his handgun. He might actually be able to get a good grenade throw in here. Yeah, so he can hear him. But if he gets an angle and starts with a few well-placed grenades... I don't think he's in he might be in radio range of his guys, but saying anything right now is probably going to get him killed. We have the T-72A out on its own. That's probably going to get flanked. Classic Russian tactic. I hope the commander's at least turned out and scanning around so the gunner can scan forward. He's probably going to play dead the entire time. Granted, as a one-man show, I don't think he'll be able to do much, but that's why you always got to start off with some well-placed grenades. Because you will confuse the hell out of Blue 4. He's also marked as an AT guy, though. But that might just be because he has SKS rifle grenades. We have BTR 70 driving up to where Blue 4 have set up
Northeast of my position, one BTR.
a group, and they're marking it. Oh no! The hungry tank! It's looking the wrong way, and they might have seen that tank pull up. I don't think it's gonna do them much good, though. I think that, did they actually lose eyes? Is that BTR might actually get away. That's brilliant. The other tank's been called over, though. They know that it might have just pushed north, so they're trying to pull the tank around to cut it off. They're either going to take a direct route or follow around.
A little bit on the crossroad. Okay.
I don't think Bay's going to make a move, but they're all grouped up. A few well-placed grenades. Mwah.
On peut monter.
BTR's now trying to cut through the forest. I don't think the tank's going to do that, though. I think it's just going to lock down this area. I love how you still have these two guys on the rear. They're seeing these infantry positions. They might start hearing that truck, though. Lolo, I think, just got his gun out. No one's going to be watching the rear, though, so if they actually move up behind them, again, a few well-placed grenades, then taking out the gunner would do you really, really well. Infantry dismounting, this group coming around. But here's the thing. This is all slowing down this force, so the airborne force is going to be attacking without backup. And OPFOR, granted, they don't have a force back here that can attack from the rear, but trading 1-to-1 even with OPFOR with their number advantage could still win it out. You guys got to be a bit more aggressive here. You got to follow on the tree line. Because if you were to go to your closest position, you'd be going through this forest instead. Instead, you're going down the MSR, which means you're actively hunting whatever might be here. Now, let's do a quick little update here. I want to look at what we have on the map. We do have a medicine play. So that's right here, overwatching that line. So at least one of those backpacks was a meta static. I don't see any other statics in play at this time on Blue 4 or Op4's side. Let's scroll up. I want to look at where Division HQ is. I think that's Bluck, because Ivno, I think, is the plane pilot, and plus he's dressed up in plane gear. So he's all the way back here, really on the rear of his force. I got Bay still chilling. These guys now advancing, but now this force is going to be all bunched up. And again, I don't think Bay's going to make a move. But Blue 4 is basically reconsolidating their forces because they're going to join up with this group right here. They might be ordered to pull back and sweep with this force, but I think these guys are going to be joining each other, again, to just do a massive pincer attack on the artillery position. But again, if they're too slow, airborne force is going to attack first and probably trade 1-to-1 even. Heli is probably still to the south, just doing reconnaissance overwatch. I'd imagine it might be landed. Nope. They're literally just chilling in there. I bet the helicopter crew is playing Foursquare with 3 people inside. All right, another backpack has been confirmed. It is a static Dishka they have put on the bioplant on the roof. That is the quote-unquote military base that they're going to be defending. Bay, come on. Like, just go forward a few meters and throw a grenade. That's going to spook the hell out of him. I think he's passing up the info right now because I just heard him speak. Oh yeah, doing tic-tac-toe on the edge of the map. I love doing that. So this force is actually coming back, maybe to counterattack, as the tank is now pushed up and covering this force from advancing. These guys have holded because they don't know where that BTR went. But if this force comes in and oh man, this could go so many different ways. But Blue 4 is just systematically losing forces. Yes, they had a tank take out a BTR 40 full of dudes, but at the end of the day, it was only 3 KIA, and the 2 remaining in that 5-man group are now possibly going to set up another ambush here.
Send in GOAT Team 6 now.
You know, I just realized...
3 years now. Time flies.
Michelangelo, if
Enjoy
you're
the
still
round.
here, I never gave you that shout out for that 11-month resub. I hope you keep enjoying everything. I hope you enjoy this stream. My bad, man. And Bastille, thanks for the 36-month resub. That gets you the Golden Lance Corporal badge. Hope you keep enjoying the operations. And I do hope you get a nice kick out of this scenario. And as I figured would happen, no one makes any moves. The window has closed, and now Blue 4 is going to mount up and start driving. Wrong button. So that is because Blue 4 wants to move this force out a little quicker so they can be in the area to set up this counter, this 2-pronged attack. Though based off of where things are going to be, I'd imagine Blue 4 is going to set up Overwatch in this tree line, spar with these forces to keep them pinned, and then have the airborne forces assault right to left and just hit all the fortified positions in the artillery area itself. Maybe even bypass it, hit the artillery before the attack begins, but that's unlikely because they would assume that Op 4 would be defending it, even though in this case they're not. But I don't like what I'm seeing here. We're seeing a lot of forces crossing into these areas, and then you have all these open fields here. So this shows me that they're not relying on this force to take this area. They're going to do it themselves. But that just puts them in positions to fight across open areas. I'm not liking where this is going. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, you have this force that'll snake around, this force that can snake around, but this force, if they start going over here, to maybe get over here and then cross, but anything further past is a very bad idea. And Michael, great. Glad to hear it. Confirmed the heli crew is bored AF. Amazing. Now, granted, you got to... You have the BTR on a nice Overwatch position right here. The tank is a little claustrophobic right here. Not the best position for it to be. It would be better suited overwatching a larger area. But with no infantry support, that does leave the airborne forces, because they do have Carl Gustavs,
to run up and hit it, and they also have M72 laws to run up and hit it with, so they can hear it moving around too, so they know there's vehicles going around right here. But this force, I mean, that scares me as a poor decision, especially if they're still moving in the open like this. That BTR is going to start shredding them, like, immediately. So, yep, they just got spotted. BTR, do your thing. BTR. Wrong way. No, you... BTR, come on. He's going to get in there and yell at him. They're going to pull it out of the bushes. Yeah, so this group's going to get scattered. You did not go into the open field on the... Are you guys actually... Why did you drive with no recon? Yeah, Blue Force is going to lose this at this point. That was a very dumb idea. That was half of their force. They just decided to Hail Mary drive in. They're so silly. Now, granted, Blue Force is going to get a great shot on the one OPFOR tank here. There's the Law firing right on the rear engine block. It did nothing. And OPFOR has no idea. Wow. It might have fell short. They have no idea something just engaged them. It's not a Cup T-72. Oh, run up and plant demo on it. Come on, Bob. Demo. Please tell me you have demo. He's gonna arm it with the track. And now he's under. The tank has no idea what happened to it. Oh my God. Is he gonna try again? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, wait, so now all he has to do is come up, grab the track again. Do it again. Do it again. The track is right there. I don't think he saw it, though. Must have been the wind. This tank crew is so oblivious. Based. That is how you play Arma. Improvise, adapt, overcome. Granted, I don't know how their AT was ineffective. Now they're trying to move the turret to make the thing flip. Will they be successful? Oh. Again, that tank should not have been on its own, because that's what happens. Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Wait, is it? Oh my God, they just AT'd some poor. Okay, he was in the BTR 70. The rest of his group got wiped. Oh my God. Blue 4 have their tank support in play. OPFOR still have their defensive line. OPFOR have their vehicle right here. They're picking up all their dudes around to bring in, possibly attack on the rear. The tank has given up. Bob is camping it.
Get out of that.
He's yelling at him to get out.
I'm never gonna play this game anymore. I'm just doing this thing here. You just...
The internal crew's telling Bob he's gonna get banned. Oh, that's brilliant. You're gonna get banned. I'm gonna stop playing this game. Bro, you shouldn't. Oh! The M60 has come to finish them off. Bob, get out of there. Well, It was a good run, Mr. Lone Wolf T72. It was a good run. No, don't get me wrong. I kind of agree what Bob did is a bit BS, but at the same time, as I've been saying multiple times this round, do not put your tanks on their own. Unless they're supported by infantry. The exception is if they are on your rear, basically covering your ass in a convoy movement, like what we saw the M60 do with the BTR or whatever. But I mean, look at how is this thing not dead? You know what I mean? Like, how is it not blown up yet? That's been 4 or 5 AP shots. So now I understand why the M72 Law wasn't effective. You know what I mean? The Law should have killed... I agree, the Law should have killed it. So... And the fact that we just saw the tank hit it 4 or 5... Look, finally, 5 rounds. And it finally does a damage model. Like... And this is the underside of the armor. So I don't know. That's weird. So I understand Blue Force frustration with that. Robert now running because he's claiming that everyone else is dead. Here would be the Chad move though. Rob runs up, takes the spare track out of that tank and armas it too. Except he's not gonna get the chance because Blue Force actually having infantry covering their tanks. Wow. Wow! Look at that! Case in freaking point! If your infantry can overwatch your tank and stop people from getting close to it and destroying it, it's actually effective! Whatever. Ay. So Blue 4 is going to now do a sweeping motion. Op 4 is holding the south, and they've pretty much annihilated most of the Blue 4 force that's come up here. They already took out half of that truck force. And they're setting things up over here. I'm going to be honest, I think Op 4 has this. Now, that could change if Blue 4 somehow systematically sweep the entirety of this AO with minimal casualties. We still have another BTR in play right here, the M60. The second one's coming around. They got to be careful. How has no one noticed that tank yet? Oh, my God. Well, everyone above the BTR fails. Oh my God. This is indeed a Charlie Foxtrot. I'm gonna laugh my ass off. That BTR dismounts next to that tank and takes it out with AT. Like, I'm assuming they're stopping now because they saw the tank but noticed that the tank wasn't watching their direction. You have to also remember OFCRA locks everyone to first person. There's no third person where you can easily look around, which is, again, why you need that infantry overwatch. You got a BTR. More AT missed. What is up with Blue 4? That's like the 4th missed Law shot. Hello? Anyone home? Anyone? Hey, yo, Carl G, show him the door. And that's another missed Law shot on top of that! Did you see that? Oh my God. I think the laws are busted or something. Like, they keep firing over. You're noticing that though in the weapon arc. That is so weird. Oh. I don't think the US has conscripts though. That's the issue. If it was the Russian side, I'd meme it, but it's the US here, so I think the laws are just defective. Yeah, at least the Gustav's on target, but that's because oh, someone sniped Nubass up there. Ouch. But the laws, I've noticed they've been doing this weird thing where instead of going in a straight line, they kind of arc like this, and they've been arcing over the target at close range. Have you guys been seeing that too in the weapon arcing? It's been doing this when it should be doing this. That's why the Carl Gustav's been effective, because it's been going direct, but the freaking round keeps hopping. That's what I've been noticing with the Tracer script, which is why I love this Tracer script, because it helps me see when things are going a little wonky when they shouldn't be. By the way, in 8+4, in 12 minutes, Op 4 will get the points for these objectives. So, I don't... I don't think Blue 4 is in a good spot. We do have the 60s now driving around, trying to stop any Op 4 from leaving the AO. But it's still going to be up to Blue 4 to get in here and take it. And even if Op 4 and Blue 4 trade 1-to-1, Op 4 is still going to have the number advantage on the remaining objectives. They've pulled the infantry out of the warehouse to set up a defensive position in Borg. And they got the skeleton crew at the bio plant, but most the major forces for both sides are in here. And I think the crutch is going to be on these M60s.
That's right.
Oh! Audie, you might want to get back in your bunker, you goober! Oh my god! Move the menace! Move the menace! Like I said, these M60s can do a shit ton of work if you let them. Now if they smoke that out, now you got Liru trying to stick to cover. I'm worried that that menace might not find a good angle, but if they set up the menace on the road, they might be able to still get a shot. But those coax rounds are going to go faster than the menace rocket, or excuse me, missile at that point. So that Lone Wolf script is, because I'm in a spectator slot, I forgot to talk to NASA, because that's a brand new script that just reminds people if they're Lone Wolfing, but it's affecting me in spectator. Wait. He's gonna have a very narrow window. We just had one menace go. It was short. Second menace round is gonna fire in a moment. Send it, send it, send it, send it. Nope. Lost the window. But now they know that they just took a, a missile, so they're gonna be pulling back, or a rocket. At least something explode in front of them. They're gonna realize, all right, we gotta play a bit more defensive. But I think those M60s are gonna be what potentially lets Blue 4 bounce back, because they are just so, I'm gonna be honest, balance-wise, they're kind of broken. Because that's a 3CB asset, which take most of their assets from Cup, and the weapon platforms on it are really stable and really effective. They can zoom in and whatnot. Jay trying to move up. He somehow dodges every single freaking round because he's a god with his, AT weapon there. It's AFS, Anti-Falcon software. Just wait and see how this Blue 4 group moves up.
What's your short range, 6
Great GL round right there. That managed to get a knockout on one of the light anti-tank gunners. Ooh, and it double taps him. Gets another kill with it. These GLs, man, are no freaking joke. Is that Zixme doing it? Yeah. These are one of the few people.
We have AT still.
Zixme is, he's very anti-Polish, but other than that, he's a very good Arma 3 player. I think he just called up the BTR up there asking if anyone had AT. Shay, I think, would still have AT with that Carl Gustav. These BTRs here are going to be used as picket forces to try to stop the Blue 4 element here. Tanks are coming around, but we do have Op 4's Hail Mary. And the tanks are trying to snipe it. The tanks are the Blue 4's AA pieces. Oh my god. So he's gonna go low because he is a big target for a tank round to snipe. Again, you'd be surprised, like the meme ways of how you would take things out, aircraft with tanks or, ATGMs or Metis launchers. I'm gonna be honest, there is footage in the Ukraine war of Ukrainian forces with AT launchers taking out helicopters because the helicopters decided to hover in place. So anything you see in Arma could be done in real world scenarios if given the opportunity. No, okay, no footage of Ukrainians putting tracks on tanks to flip them over. What a world that would be, though. Yeah, right, Arma the tanks, of course. Solomons is down there. Yep, I think it was a Cormet. It wasn't, and it was the equivalent. It wasn't actually that, but I digress. Wow, Pro Hunter getting a triple kill. No, a quad kill. With, just a freaking AK. 7 kills. Total. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 KIA right there. The man just cleaned up an entire airborne squad. I keep freaking screwing that up. He just single-handedly turned around the fight here. Holy crap. The dude woke up and chose violence. That was amazing. That's a Hero of the Motherland award right there. Good God.
I think the M60.
He truly is a pro hunter. All right, looking up though, the BTRs have been taken out by AT. Op4 is now flanking around with some infantry. Oh my God. So we got Op4 in a bunker right here. 6 minutes until calculations finish. We just saw a heavy round come in. Don't know if that was AT or what. But Blue Force 6 minutes to lock down these remaining objectives. Warehouse position has gone really badly for Op4. Blue 4 able to come up here and get a lot of kills. They got to destroy this warehouse, which means they got to get demo on it. Tank is now coming up to Murad, but oh. AT was just launched, and Chopper just went down. Well, not surprised. Blue 4 either still... I heard a missile launch sound that sounded like a stinger. So I guess something was still up with Blue 4 here. But beyond that, I really don't know. But, oh. I feel a little bad for the heli crew. They really just didn't do anything this round. The one time they came in, they got annihilated. Bay Potato's back. Eager for some revenge. But Shay is a very, very good player. He's on 3 kills, 2 vehicle kills. Managed to kill someone that came up here. Pro Hunter, meanwhile, he's taken the MG3.
Click on the PTR marker.
And Cheeseburger. I don't know where that grenade went. They did not just kill themselves with a grenade. That would have been hilarious. I think he's under GL fire, though. The pre-fire! Cameron, as the battle buddy, able to take it out, but Bro Hunter was trying to pre-fire this corner because he saw him up here earlier. Oh. Meanwhile, Zixme is trying to fold and unfold the weapon, seeing if he can arm it. He's not going to be able to. They got to destroy those guns. They got 3.5 minutes remaining. I'm not sure if he has any explosive capabilities left on him, because the GL's not going to do it. Actually, wait. They did get one right here. Oh! He's figured it out. They might have a scroll wheel option to do it instead. So he's disabled 2 of them. If he can get that last one, he'll get the full 2 points, but I think he has to get all 3 of them for it to count. He has GLs, though, and they're taking shots on him. Frag out. Just short. Doesn't get anyone. No, it does not. Less than 3 minutes. Another grenade goes up. That one gets into the bunker. Ander dies to the grenade. It rolls all the way down. But Zixme, unfortunately, is taken out by, I actually don't know, possibly a flanking force there, but damn, gets him with the grenade. 1 more static to go. Blue 4's 2 closest are busy watching the opposite direction for their own safety. Blue 4, they've got this force right here. They still have their 2 tanks. They could lock down the final military position, but oh, this is going to be a long one. It's going to really drag out here, unfortunately. Ah, double tap. I think that was Sullivan's getting him then. What a messy round. Yeah, the tanks are going to have to risk doing a dismount to actually do the warehouse objective. Because granted, if Op4 is able to get full points for everything, then Op4's already won. So we'll see where that calculates, and by then, I mean, we can even pay out the poll at that point. Because it'll be 6 points to 4 points that Blue 4 can gain. Actually, no, that's not right. Op4 would only get 4 points total unless they find and kill the Blue 4 commander, in which case they would gain 6. But that was Bluck. Yeah, Bluck's dead, so never mind. Op4 already has those 2 points. So, yeah, no, if Op4 holds these 2 objectives, then they win. Now you got Op4 sweeping the remaining forces. Ash is the only guy left alive other than Ivno on that side.
So,
honestly, the tank should have stayed on the northern town and supported, in my opinion, but yeah, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Now, if someone in there has a way to demo that objective, that's what they need to do. Maybe they could open this door and snipe this vehicle, and that destruction could cause the entire warehouse to collapse. They could just back the tank up right here and snipe it. But they're gonna have to get out and actually open the door, and that's a big risk because, you know, you don't know if they're actually in there defending. But they have... it's too late. It is too late. Yep. All right. Failed by Blue 4, failed by Blue 4, completed by Red 4, failed by Red 4. Here's the Achilles heel. They had to keep all 3 artillery pieces alive. So because 2 were destroyed by Zixmi, they don't get those 2 points. So Op4 only gains 2 points for this vehicle depot. So Op4 is on 4 points now. Blue 4 could still tie the game by capturing the bioplant by the end of the mission, which with 2 tanks could easily be doable because this is a very open area. There's not a lot of places to hide for armor. There is this outer perimeter, though, and there's only one way for those tank pieces to enter the AO. So as long as Op4 stays off of the high areas and doesn't get sniped by vehicles, they should be fine. We should be seeing these RPG gunners get closer to the perimeter at that point in order to make that all work. But we have a lot of static dishkas on these Overwatch positions, which is just going to be bait for... Not even bait. I mean, that's just easy pickings for the Blue 4 tanks. But maybe we'll see an ambush bear fruit here if Blue 4 directly push down. We still got a lot of Op4 AT gunners on the northern side, and we have a massive amount of Op4 infantry that needs to be repositioned, but they do have the vehicle capabilities to do it, as well as 2 medices that they could bring south. So we do have, actually that's a BTR 40, so it's not going to be able to do a lot of transporting. We do have a UAZ down right there as well that can carry 7 people. But there is going to have to be an effort. Okay, no, we do have a transport truck back here. And they do have a dead guy in the truck because it looks like it took a bit of damage. But I think Op4 will have the means to get everyone repositioned between those 3 vehicles. 7, I think this one takes 5, and that truck can definitely take up to 12 or so. So that's, you know, about 20 to 25. So they should be able to get everything out because they lost all their BTRs. Blue 4, though, it looks like they found one of their transport trucks. That's Ivno. But their remaining force is literally 2 tanks and a 3-man infantry team in an M113, I believe. Oh, and Ash. Oh, we also have the SPG-9 car still here, which at this point, that thing needs to go hunting. But it looks like, yeah, pushed up to fight infantry and got massacred, so not surprised there. But between everything here, literally, it's going to tie. It's going for a tie for Blue 4 side. But I feel like Op4 has the advantage if they can reposition their forces in time. If the tanks get there first and lock it down, I think there's a solid chance. But then they'll have to be playing those tanks CQC to actually get them in the objective. But they won't count for taking the objective until they actually get out of the vehicles, which is where they're the most vulnerable. Got some smoke deployed, so I'd imagine Op4 trying to take a pot shot with their AT and missed. But I feel like this is very leaning Op4 right now because they already have 4 points on the board. And all the tanks can really do is just harass. So I'm not going to pay it out till it's over. In the event there's a tie, I just nullify the poll and return everyone's points. But it's really leaning Op4. And it's just because of the ambushes in the beginning, there were some really good ones. and it just caused them to lose it. Anything after this, we do have a Warhammer 40k op in about 2 hours, 15 minutes from now. I'll be taking an hour-long break. I'll probably go up, clean the kitchen, dust, do some chores. Bloodwing has this system where we keep track of each other's chores. Ash blows this dude away. It was a vehicle crewman. And, whew. Well, that's his 5th kill, too, so he's playing one-man tug-of-war back here. Don't know why any Op 4 infantry would be running around soloing buildings when they should be remounting and heading to the final objective. So that's silly for Op 4 to do, as Ash, you know, fights for his life. But as I was saying, Bloodwing likes to keep score of the chores and likes to bitch at me when she's 20 chores above. And then I just spend 2 days and catch up. But, you know, c'est la vie. Whatever makes the woman happy, right? Happy wife, happy life. Or happy significant other, happy successful relationship. Make that imperfect rhyme for me. So we already see Op 4 starting to mount up some of their forces to get out of here. We still have this force over here. I guess they're going to mount up soon and get in the BTR 48. I guess they just haven't been ordered yet, too. They got to take the Menace apart, though. But you're starting to see Op 4 forces trickle down. Now, the one risk of this is if they run into those tanks, which, granted, if they have 2 tanks, they should have 1 tank watching forward, 1 tank watching rear. You did not. You did not.
Tank. Stop. Water.
The river is marked. There is a bridge. Are you kidding me? Granted, I think they could actually get the tank right here and tow it out, but that's just gonna mean there's gonna be no way for them to intercept any vehicles coming in. Actually, the 113 is amphibious, so they could mount it over and then tow the tank out with the amphibious vehicle. That's pretty damn funny. Something, don't be an ass and help the people you care about. Exactly, Slushy. I just hope the tank doesn't get stuck on that. They got it. Dun. What do you do? Oh, okay. I was about to say, do not vault into it. Well, who's gonna remove the rope? Cool, you towed it out. Now untow it, you goobers. Oh, no, they're towing it because the engine got flooded and they don't have the means to repair it. So now they're a tank convoy. Oh, that's brilliant. Well, this is cool, though. It means one tank can watch one direction, one tank can watch the other, and they can have perfect security for 2 tanks. So it was just a blessing in disguise. Now, Ash is still going to be camping in this building, probably worried about leaving too early, but now you got this transport truck. Can Ash intercept? Because this transport truck's being silly. GL it. GL it. GL it. Sprays the back, manages to get a kill, goes from +5 to +4. Yeah, Forest Attack, we've seen some pretty good plays. We've also seen some pretty silly plays, such as the T-72 incident, but that's okay. C'est la vie. Yeah, that Vic should just book it out of here. It's going to use the MSR, travel south, get to the final objective, and I think this is just the beginning of the end. Actually, it's already been the beginning of the end. Granted, I think this SPG-9 is going to be able to play a lot of... wow, Lolo's still alive. We'll see how that SPG-9 plays out. But if it gets into a good angle and all the tank guns focus on the objective, that SPG-9 could come in and just annihilate everything here. Because as long as it kills the lead Vic's engine, then both of those tanks are going to be dead in the water. Did it hit a mine? Wait, so how did the Toad Vic hit the mine, but how did you not hit the mine, but how did you hit the mine if you were towing? How did... What? How does that work? I don't get it. 2 S's in Mission Dreadnought. Maybe it was a delayed mine, so a delayed few? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense, though, because the point's to take out the thing that... I don't know. Quantum mines. It's those Star Trek Deep Space Nine mines that don't exist in your space, but then will exist in your space and blow you. I don't freaking know, man. Oh, God. And it's looking the wrong way! Please! Hit it! Hit it! Hit it! What are you doing? What? Yes! You ripped it! I don't even know where it went! It's... Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Well, there goes the tanks. I think this is pretty much guaranteed that Op4 is gonna lose at this point. I don't know what that means. That's a hint box. Whoa, realistic as fuck. Yeah, right? I'm gonna walk back my earlier comment about some things you see in armor you'll see in the real world. But you know what? I said some, not all. So there we go. It's okay. No, I think based off the fact that the SPG-9 gun was lowered, I think it was disabled, so they had to basically get up point blank to fire an SPG-9 round into the vehicle, and they were just debating whether or not they wanted to risk it because they didn't know if the tank was going to turn properly or not. But yeah, that was a really big failure in security for Blue 4, and now we just have a handful of dudes remaining. You have this poor guy trying to heal. Twig King's going to run up and go...
I don't know where. I hear audio.
He's going to go check the wreck. You got the shooting starting. That is an AT round that just might have missed the 113, but it's pulling off to the right. I'm waiting to see Twig. Yeah. All right, Blue 4, I think, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people remaining. 7 people if you count Ash all the way to the north, but I'm going to let this fight play out, and then I'm going to wrap it up, guys. But then again, checking our map, we do have 18 minutes remaining. AT landing relatively close to the infantry. Not sure if they have those OG rounds. Those are the simple bullet-looking rounds that don't have those fatter warheads on the side that fragment around and kill people. Got some smokes going out. Daedalus gets crippled and knocked out. Murdy staying back as Roland and Callie do a desperate American push here. Yep, the OG-7B. Roland gets knocked out, and now it's up to Callie, who's bandaging. Callie, though, on 10 kills as that tank crew, so the tanks did a good job, but just the infantry suffered too many ambushes and got knocked out. But overall, I would say the M60s were definitely the most effective vehicle asset out there. Least effective asset, I'm going to be honest, was probably the helicopter. Because at least the meta statics and the Dishka statics did a little bit of deterrence, but the 60 was just, hey, look up, get the kill. Adamek blowing Murdy away because Murdy only had a handgun, and I believe that's GG. You got Twig King coming up on the rear to continue to sweep house. Ash, I think, is just going to stay up here and play solo. Granted, 6 kills, not bad, but yeah. That's it. Twig's also with Solomon. Roland wakes back up, and I believe it is now 6 in the AO. Oh, no, excuse me, 4 in the AO with 1 out. Now the Dishka's on the rooftops. Because there's no M60s to snipe the Dishkas off, they're just going to basically be looking around and picking people off as they come in. Rick has gone with the white camo. Who needs proper camo when you can be naked? The most effective AT was the track. No, I would say the most effective AT was the Carl Gustav. The least effective AT was definitely the M72 Law, but both were on the same side. The wild card AT was definitely the track. And there goes, I don't even remember who was there, but they're dead. It's just Murdy now, and Murdy has 2 people walking up on him from the rear, or her, I don't know, with a name like Murdy. It could be anything. And Murdy gets sniped. And dies. So, yeah. GG. Yeah, I think they're trying to double tap the body.
All right.
What's OSHA? It's an American thing that it's for workers and whatnot. But that is a long conversation for a different time. Now there's red on red.
Southeast 140, taking machine gun fire.
Oh dear. Quick, do the friendly wiggle. Op 4's doing so well, they've opted to kill their own commanders. Excellent. So you got Rick. Oh, there was a second guy over here, but I guess he died. Oh, no, Rick Hunter might have shot him. It's -1. Did you actually? Who's... Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He might have disconnected, but... Yeah, he disconnected. There's a second blue triangle there. Because Rick wanted all of the glory from himself. Or for himself. Start shooting. Can Rick reset his score back to 0? Survey says no. No, he cannot. Well, gentlemen, that's GG, because Ash is not... He hasn't moved from that position at all. And there we go. Woo! All right. Oh, Ivno, were you the other guy? Anyway, as the cool kids say, Yeetus deletus. But anyway, that goes this round. 4-0. They even cashed it in before the bio plant got secured, but that would have been 8 points. But yeah, 28 left to 1. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll pay it out to Op4 in a second. We'll be back in 2 hours for POG. Otherwise, cheers, guys. Have a good one, and go operate operationally.